Live from our Jackson studio. Live from the Midtown Jackson studio and live from well into Deep 13. This is Last Call Cafe on Spreaker with the animalistic Jay the Brain Man, the animalistic Matthew the Wizard Nichols, and the Pause for Consideration, Steve the Baxman Baxley. I'm Franklin Pangborn, your announcer, with Morgul as the friendly drone. Let's go to the cafe and find out what's going on and join the guys on a whole crowd. It's Last Call Cafe on Spreaker.
Oh, welcome one and all to the Corsican Ball. How you doing, everybody? This is your lucky day. We're actually on a Sunday. Steve the Baxman Baxley here, along with some folks who I will introduce in a moment. Want to just say welcome to the L2C Last Call Cafe, the only show that enters your mind and turns it into things you would never believe if I even told you. Folks, let's get to it. Featuring the man, the myth, the legend, a gamer's best friend, Mr. Magnetism himself, the wizard, Matthew Nichols.
What's up, everyone?
And, of course, what would we do, baby, without him? What would we do, baby, without him? And I think I just hurt myself in the groin with that high note. Yes, friends, he is the one that's pushing the buttons and making this program sound as professional as it can. He is, of course, the living legend, the host of Jay the Brain Man Presents Wrestle Anime Hut, starring some guy named the Brain and some guy named the Baxman. He is the one, the only. And that weather forecast is coming up next. So that's right. We're the equal host of this show. And tonight, kiddies, we're going to get you some weird news and a few other things. That's what we do mostly on this broadcast until we get some things situated to where we can bring you some comedy clips like we used to long ago and far away. But we are doing our best. And by the way, we are 5 days away. Can you not believe it? 5 days away from the anniversary of this very, very broadcast. And we got some surprises for you that you will not believe.
The show's anniversary is coming up pretty soon.
That's right, 5 days. We started in 2000, we started in the early 2000s, let's just put it that way. And we started at Blog Talk Radio, Justin.tv, live stream, and a few other places, and now we're We're growing up in the world. We're now with Spreaker from iHeartRadio. So there you go. So how is everybody today? Or tonight?
I'm doing all right. I'm currently watching a few of my favorite VTubers on Twitch.
Cool.
And I'm still trying to brainstorm ideas for the LGC Cheesy RPG game.
That is awesome. Awesome, my friend. By the way, I found a few things on YouTube. You folks might scant a chance to viewage. On my little travels through the interwebs, caught a little something, little broadcast history. Weird Al Yankovic doing the final show, the final edition of Attack of the Show on, well, what I'm going to call the original Gangsta G4 TV, the NBC Universal brand.
Oh, yeah, I remember the final episode of Attack of the Show.
Yep. And by the way, G4 is doing better than... is doing better. They recently did some live stuff from a convention in California, and
which I'm actually watching G4 on TV right now.
There you go. And of course, you can catch it live, at least Attack of the Show, and a program called Guess the Price on Thursday nights beginning at about 5 p.m. on Twitch, their Twitch channel, and their YouTube channel. And we finally found out from this video just what the hell Drunkle was. It's a long story. You got to see it to believe it. And you will. By the way, also, thank you, YouTube. You've given us a little hope that Doctor Strange will get better, because there was a pilot in '78 for a TV series on CBS. That's right. We'll tell you more about that. Plus, it's the end of an era and the beginning of a new one, as we are just 24 hours away from the fall up TV upfronts. We'll give you all that, plus a lot more. It's entertainment, it's sports, it's a program that's worthy of your attention. And it's all right here. And yes, friends, the General is back, and oh, does he have a little shock for us all. So stand by for that and a whole lot more. That is what we have for you tonight on the broadcast. And we are going to start off with a little bit of, if we can find some here, some weird news. That's right, the weirdness. It's begun. Okay. And here we go, a little offbeat news, courtesy of our friends at Sky News. A team of scientists led by parasitologist Robert Poulin scoured studies in 8 journals published between 2000 and 2020. Around 2,900 species were discovered during that period, with 200 in 2007 alone. However, of the 596 species named after eminent scientists, only 111, or 19%, recognize, hello there, where are we, women, according to the experts from New Zealand's University of Otago. And of 71 scientists honored in the Latin names of the 2 or more species, only 8 were women. 8 scientists who had lent their names to 6 or more, and let's get rid of the commercial, species were men. We found a consistent gender bias among species named after eminent scientists, with male scientists being immortalized disproportionately more frequently than female scientists, said the study published in the Journal Proceedings of the Royal Society B. It said that gender bias has shown no evidence of improving over time in the past 2 decades. They also cited a problem with etymological nepotism and cronyism in the naming of helminths. The report noted a tendency for taxonomists to name new species after a family member or close friend had increased over the past 20 years, and warned that scientists may also regret naming species after celebrities who might later fall from grace. Gee, I wonder what that means. All right. And our next one, and you remember the old joke that Johnny Carson was the king of late night because more people gave birth to baby during his run as the king of late night TV? Well, kind of looks like Metallica is now the king of more babies being born. Example, Joyce M. Figueiredo was 39 weeks pregnant and sitting in a special area at a Metallica show in Brazil when her contractions began during the set. She had posted details of her son's unusual birthplace on Instagram, with the band sharing the news with fans. Ooh, that's nice. But one newborn in Brazil now surely lays claim to the most rock and roll arrival of all time. 2-day-old Luan Figueiredo was born at a Metallica gig at the Couto Pereira Stadium in Brazil's southern state of Paraná. Same to you. To the sound of Enter Sandman, according to his mom. Metallica have shared details of the birth with their 8.2 million followers on the band's Instagram stories. Wow. Joyce, who brought tickets to the show 3 years ago, said she was 39 weeks pregnant and sitting in a special area for the show when her contractions began during Metallica's set. With just 3 songs left to go, the plan was to take her to hospital by ambulance, but there was no more time. Sharing the news in posts written in both Portuguese and English on Instagram, Ms. Figueiredo said her son was born right there in the stadium as the band's biggest hit, Enter Sandman, played. The whole day was very crazy. She said, adding that she had joked the little boy's name would be James Ulrich, after Metallica frontman James Hetfield and drummer Lars Ulrich. Ms. Figueiredo said she had received lots of messages about her son's birth and thanked well-wishers for their support. I'm great physically and trying to understand how this happened, she wrote. Thank you for everyone's love and concern. Well, it is simple how this happened. Will a man and a woman make love? Sorry. It was an unusual welcome to the world, but little Luan is not the first baby to be born at a gig. In 2019, a woman gave birth during a Pink gig at Liverpool's Anfield Stadium and reportedly went on to name the little girl Dolly Pink. That's nice. That's nice, don't you all think?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's very nice. I wonder if there are any babies born during Weird Al Yankovic's concerts. Okay, another one from the Netherlands. Police in the city of Utrecht said let's start at the top. A 4-year-old boy has been likened to F1 star Max Verstappen after taking his mother's car for a drive in the Netherlands. Police in the city of Utrecht said the child crashed into 2 parked cars and was found alone by a bystander walking around in his pajamas and bare feet on Saturday. The child has taken his mother's car keys to go for a drive after he had woke up on Saturday when his father went to work, according to police. On Instagram, the force said they had discovered a new Max Verstappen, that no one was hurt in the incident. Police contacted the boy's mother, and while he spoke to her on the phone, the boy gestured to steering a wheel, which led police to think he may have been driving. Ooh. Taken to the scene, the child was asked if he knew how the car worked. Police said he opened the car with the keys, put the keys in the ignition, went to the clutch with his left foot, and stepped on the gas. Fortunately, the adventure of this mini driver ended with a bang, police said. The child was checked by paramedics and taken to a police station where he was given hot chocolate and asked where he was from. Max Verstappen, by the way, is the current Dutch world champion Formula One driver. Wow. A 4-year-old kid driving like a Formula One driver. That is strange, folks. Okay, that's your weird news for this week. Guess what? Pangborn, you got your voice?
Yes, sir, I do. Would you like me to do it now?
I would be pleased if you would.
It's time now for Gamer News, brought to you as always by our friends at Pluto.tv. Hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars, including channels for the gamer and pop culturists. And it also includes the classics from G4. So go to Pluto.tv for hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Strap in, strap on, and enjoy. Now, with the Gamer News, here's Matthew the Wizard Nichols.
Thanks, Pangborn. Okay. This week in Gamer News, well, Starfield and Redfall have been delayed until 2023. Yeah. And in other gaming news, for those of you who play Call of Duty Warzone, well, currently there's an event called The Monarch, which features Godzilla and King Kong. Unfortunately, they are just standing around the map, blowing stuff up, and they're not really fighting each other. So if you're expecting a big Godzilla versus King Kong type of thing in this mode, you're probably gonna be a bit disappointed. But at least you can shoot at the monsters, at Godzilla and King Kong. And that's it for this week's Gamer News.
And that's Gamer News with Matthew the Wizard Nichols. Gamer News is presented by Pluto.tv. Get hundreds of channels for zeros of dollars. Go to Pluto.tv for more information. Pluto.tv is a part of Paramount Global. I'm Franklin Pangborn.
All right, Pangs, thank you very much. And it is time. Oh, before you go, Pangs, you gotta do the honor.
Well, thank you. I thought we do that for the first one, but you had to do the weird news first.
Yes, I know. So get to your part.
And now it's time to give you a little brainwave presented by nobody.
Now, Brain. Hey, Jay the Brain Man. What kind of brainwave you giving us today?
Yeah, Steve, this is Gilbert Gottfried saying you couldn't even wipe my ass, let alone do a half-decent imitation of me. Okay?
There you go. Ah, yes. Gilbert, this is your permanent brainwave. All right, thank you very much.
I think we should change the title to Gilbert Godfrey. Yeah, Gilbert Godfrey roast Steve section. Because that's pretty much all we get for the brainwaves these days.
Hey, you gotta laugh, and Gilbert has always been one. You know what we should do? We should do a half hour of nothing but Gilbert's comedy. Of course, we would have to censor a third of it. Get permission for some of it. Anyway, where were we going? Oh, yes. Let's give you a little wrestling news before we dwell into portions of the entertainment. And here we go. MJF and AEW aren't close to coming to terms on a new deal yet. In an update provided by Fightful Select, All Elite Wrestling and Maxwell Jacob Friedman haven't had formal talks on a potential new deal for the Long Island native. Per Fightful, MJF and AEW haven't had any outright negotiations, and the Outspoken Stars reportedly not addressed any overtures from the company while trying to begin negotiations. It's worth noting that AEW President Tony Khan would be willing to pay him comparable to other top stars. AEW has reworked other deals in the past, however, those involved adding time on the contract. It was noted that MJF isn't looking to increase the figure on his current deal without an extension. It was reported last week that MJF had begun to be frustrated with Khan and the company and was leaning toward not re-signing with All Elite Wrestling when his deal expires in 2024. He reportedly already garnered interest from WWE. MJF is set to take on Wardlow at AEW's Double or Nothing pay-per-view on May 29th in Vegas. If MJF wins, Wardlow can never sign a contract with AEW, and if Wardlow wins, MJF must release Wardlow from his contract. However, Wardlow must complete the following stipulations for the match to take place, and this is where I think Tony Khan has done wrong. MJF will deliver 10 whippings with a belt to Wardlow's back. Next, Wardlow will face Shawn Spears in a steel cage match in which MJF will be the special guest referee. Now, if you will think back long ago, this was one of the stipulations that MJF did with Cody Rhodes. Not only that, but Cody Rhodes, in one of his stipulations, had to beat Wardlow in a steel cage. So AEW and Tony Khan, maybe you should have thought of something, shall we say, a bit more original, because you must be missing Cody Rhodes so much that to have MJF say a statement with the words Cody Rhodes in it and then go with a steel cage match and the 10 whippings. Come on, Tony. I never thought I would say this, but you could have done better, but we'll just have to see how far you go with this. And MJF, I speak for myself, though I think others will agree. If you think you're going to survive in WWE with their financial situation and their creative situation, you're nuttier than a fruitcake. Your best bet's to go back to MLW, Major League Wrestling, where you got your big break from. Because WWE, I'm sorry, but they will. You'll only be a big card for about 2 years, 2.5 years. Just think of this name, Kevin Steen.
Oh yeah,
and you'll see what I mean.
At all.
And
he definitely brings his face Stone Cold at WrestleMania, one of the biggest events of all time.
Right, but
probably the worst example you could choose.
I know. But what other wrestler thought they were going to be big enough to be in the WWE, but ended up being a jobber? Oh, yeah.
Steve Baxley.
Aha, funny. Oh, yeah, that's right. Cody Rhodes.
You mean the guy who's on the poster at the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view? And in a main event feud right now?
Well, I'm just going to say good luck, Cody Rhodes, because in about 3 years, you're going to be back. I mean, I'm sorry. I wish Cody Rhodes well, but I still got a little problem with him going back with WWE under the conditions that prevail at the moment.
Hey, if you want it, dude, that's his thing.
That's correct. If he want, Hey, as you said, Jay, as you said, Brain, if he wants to do it, let him do it, and let the chips fall where they may. And we say that also to MJF. Good luck to both. Speaking of which, a little sad notation. Former WWF star Virgil has announced that he's been diagnosed with stage 2 colon cancer. The announcement comes after the former $1 Million champion was diagnosed with dementia last month. He posted the following on Twitter. It's bleep right now to make things worse. I know I have stage 2 colon cancer. I am a fighter, but need your help. I cannot afford any of the medical bills and would love your support. The in-ring veteran recently had to dispel online rumors that he had passed away shortly after suffering 2 strokes a week after the dementia diagnosis. Virgil made his WWF debut in '86 under the Lucius Brown moniker before being repackaged as the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase's bodyguard, Virgil. He would hold that role until he turned on DiBiase and defeated him for the $1 Million Championship at SummerSlam in '91. Virgil then made the move to WCW, where he had a 5-year tenure with the company before departing in the year 2000. The fan-favorite veteran would make sporadic appearances in WWE in 2010 and would also make a cameo with AEW in 2019, where he reprised his former Soul Train Jones gimmick as part of Chris Jericho's Inner Circle stable. Now, fans can help with Virgil's medical expenses by donating to his fundraiser, and his fundraiser is at paypal.com/pools/8 big J little I big P 9 little N 1 little V little M and 0. And right now, as we go to tape, they have raised $515.48 of $6,000 needed. So we will continue to update you, as will Wrestling Inc. Let's see. Let's get something a little happy. In fact, let's see. Boom. Ric Flair has another obstacle in his way during his attempt to return to the ring. Earlier this week, it was reported that the 73-year-old WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair was training to make an in-ring return later this year while having enough issues due to his age and recent health status. The 17-time world champion may now have trouble receiving the proper licensing to return to the ring, thanks to former WCW commentator and backstage interviewer Chris Cruz. Cruz, who wore many hats in WCW during his tenure, posted the following on Facebook, speaking out against Flair wanting to make an in-ring return. You can read that on Wrestling Inc. So there you go. And, of course, Wrestling Inc. and we will provide any and all updates on the status of Ric Flair's potential return to the ring. But right now, it is time, Mr. Pangborn, to do your duty one more time.
It's time for the bad, the negative, to get... It's time for evil to get what's coming to them. It's time to right the wrongs. It's time for the insidious belch of the week. Brought to you by Scope, the mouthwash that leaves your breath minty fresh, not medicine-y. Gentlemen, and here is General Big Jimmy Billy Bob Bo Schwartz, Lieutenant Jimmy, and Corporal Jimmy. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Well, thank you very much. It's great to be back. It's great to be on a Sunday. Boy, is it great to be here. Tonight, Gee, who should we give the belch to? Well, we gave it to Frost, but that was a while back. But we haven't had a major belch for a while. So, guys, who do you think we should give the belch to this week?
I got nothing.
Oh, Brain?
No, I got done.
Baxman? What about you, sir?
Well, if it was me, and it certainly is, I would give the belch of the week to, well, I don't dare say his name, but we must. I like to give the belch to COVID, if I may.
Ooh, why is that?
Because the reason is COVID-19 has zapped us of Stephen Colbert. So tonight, the belch, I do believe, must go to COVID-19.
I do. Okay, if that's the way you wish, it'd be a first to give it to a disease. Maybe the Belchatron is the cure. But, Jimmy Jr., what did we give the Belchatron this week?
Let's see. The dire supply of the COVID vaccine.
Okay, is that all?
And a bunch of other medical stuff.
Ooh. Oh, yes, including, of course, the bacon and egg special from the hospital you went to, Henry Ford Health, Baxman.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Okay. We have, Lieutenant Jimmy, have we fed the Belchatron 2000?
Yes, sir, we have, and I think it's ready to burst.
All right, when ready, fire! Wow. Are you boss sure you didn't feed that thing a slight Mexican pizza? 'Cause I smell pepperoni.
Don't you know? COVID vaccines have pepperoni in it.
Okay. We will see you next week, gentlemen. By the way, are you all doing good? I know I am. Brain, how about you?
Happy birthday.
And Matt, how about you?
I'm doing alright.
Jay just gave us the Frosty the Snowman treatment.
Yeah, because it's his birthday in a couple
The
days.
Snowman is a very happy show with a corn fight and a button nose and two ice made out of coal.
Yeah, because it's your birthday in a couple days, Matt, or Steve. Damn it.
Oh, yeah. 5 days. 5 days away. I can't wait. Anyway,
Hopefully you
we'll
get
have
that
a
lady I ordered from Craigslist.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Jay. Thank you. Folks, and on that note, that's going to wrap it up for us. We will hopefully see you next Sunday. The Wrestle Anime Hut, hopefully, will be next. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with Brain Scan Entertainment. And let's not forget that the Gamer News is produced in cooperation with Wizard World Productions. That's the credits. And here's the way we end it now. He's the Brain. He's the Wizard. And I'm the Baxman. Cuckoo, cuckoo. We'll see you next week. Peace.